don't know
music?
what to say. No.
Dun, 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 dun. Here we are.
That's good. You should do the intro. I don't ever do an intro. I just it feels like too structured or too formal. Just like to kind of get into conversation and then kind of direct it from there.
Well, see, I'm a game show guy, so I like game show intros.
Okay.
I mean, I got game show in my background, my history.
What? Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh, we're already jumping into that, I guess.
Yeah, let's go. What games? You've been on a game show?
No, I have not, but I have some relation to Bob Barker.
Oh,
the
familial?
Famous game show host
Yeah.
of all time, one of the most famous.
What? So you're related to Bob Barker?
Distantly, yes, and that's kind of my fun fact I share with everybody whenever
Okay.
doing just things employee-wise.
Have
or
you
whatever,
met him?
I've never met him, no.
Okay.
But
I have.
I
You
feel
met Bob Barker?
Yes,
Wow.
one time.
Were you on The Price is Right? Were you the
No.
next contestant?
No,
No.
it was right here. He
Right here?
no, right here in the
Okay.
studio. But he flew into St. Louis, and I was at the airport when he showed up. And hey, there's Bob Barker.
You had a sign.
Did he remind you
Bob
to spay and neuter your pets?
No, but yeah, we briefly talked, just for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was here in St. Louis.
Huh.
He came for something, and
Yeah.
I was around. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess full transparency. I haven't seen it on paper, but that's the story that I've been told by my
Okay.
parents and my grandparents on the Barker side of our family.
Oh, so it is
And
an actual last name.
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yes. Yes.
So there is a chance.
There's a chance, and he's got Missouri connections. And,
Okay.
But
He was in St. Louis.
and plus, I love hosting game show type fun.
Do you?
So maybe it's in my blood.
It's in the blood. It's in
Yeah.
the Barker blood.
It's in,
He's also one of those celebrities that like you wouldn't question it if you're like,
Right.
oh yeah, we're related to. Like no one's gonna fact check you
Right,
or like
right.
try to. Can I meet him? Like
Well, he's not
I
around
mean, no, he's
anymore,
dead now. But like even 20 years ago, like
Yeah.
if you told me you were related to Bob Barker, I wouldn't be like, oh, let me get an autograph from her. Let me get a picture. I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. You got to make up a story that's attention grabbing, but not so much that someone wants to like.
Well, did you know Bob Barker was a turnip farmer?
That's not true.
Well, that's my story.
Okay.
It's attention grabbing.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
No, I just made that up on
farmed-
the spot. I never
yeah.
said that before in my life.
But he farmed at least one turnip.
Yeah,
I don't,
somehow.
I don't know.
Maybe there's
I was trying to go somewhere with that. Let's talk about your last name. Let's talk etymology.
let's do it. I don't know.
Somewhere along the lines.
I thought you were changing.
Oh, changing my shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe for the next one.
Okay.
Thanks. Good looking out. Somewhere along the lines, someone did something to a turnip.
Yeah, planted it, raised it, watered it, seeded it.
And that was their last name.
Yeah. So the story is that I don't know that it's an exciting story, but turnip farmers from England, literally.
It's just so
Came
literal.
across, and
I
here
think
we
is
are.
is what catches me. It's so right. Like if your last name is Black, maybe you were like a blacksmith,
Yeah.
but it's so common. But Turnipseed is like it's on the nose. So it's like it's a turnip seed.
It is.
Have you had a turnip? I don't know that I've had a turnip.
I had. I mean, they're like a radish. I mean,
Okay,
it's
that's kind of what I
very
thought.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say we eat them often.
Sure.
You don't eat your own family, but I guess.
Yeah.
No, but no, don't eat them regularly. Have had them. I don't know that my kids have ever had them or anybody else in my family has, but
I don't know that I could pick one out of a lineup. I mean, if you put it next to an apple, I could identify it. But if you
sure.
put it next to, like, I don't know
if
what.
you had a turnip and a radish next to each other, you think you could tell the difference?
I think radishes are red.
True. What is a turnip?
White.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
And is it more ovally shape or like more of a heart?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
A
less
radish would be
oval.
round. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of the Local 636 podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications bell so you get notified when all the newest episodes come out. Also, be sure to follow us on socials. Our Facebook and Instagram is local.636. And go to local636.com to pick up all your St. Charles gear, like this beautiful Katy Trail shirt. We've got hats, T-shirts, sweatshirts, and much more, all at local636.com.
Yeah.
Cool. What other
go
vegetables
with
would
that.
you like to talk about today?
Well, let's see. You got some cucumbers? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you. Let's
right.
talk about the turnip seed.
Yeah.
What kind of fun did kids have with your last name growing up? Any?
Yeah, too many. I mean,
Any that you can say? Well, not that we're-
there's plenty I can say,
Yeah.
plenty I can't say.
Yeah.
I mean, the most common is it's the fact that it's turnip seed,
Yeah.
and you see it on paper and it's very clear it's Turnipseed,
Yeah.
but no one knows how to say it or spell it. It's usually, I get a lot of Turpinseed or Turnipseed.
Really?
So, I mean, those were always, obvious ones, but watermelon seed, pumpkin seed.
Oh, just other vegetables.
Tulip seed was a big one.
Okay.
You just add anything to the front of seed, and that's what my name was.
It's not very creative.
No, it's
It'd be
really
fun if
not.
you're like, my nickname was asshole. That doesn't,
some people might have said that too.
Yeah.
It's happened, but
that doesn't seem very creative. I think maybe I'll think on it through the show. Maybe we'll come up with something.
I think my daughter, one of her social medias was turn up the seed.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, that's what I came in. Turn up the radio.
Yeah, right. Right.
There's some fun you can have there.
Yeah. But usually it's always just been seed or cedar.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because the hockey background.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So like adding the S or adding the Y to the last name is like a common hockey nickname.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Seedy.
An S or an ER or
Yeah.
a Y. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the common ones.
Seed. That's a good. That's a
Seedsy,
good. Yeah.
Seedsy was one too.
That's
for a while,
good.
yeah.
So you played hockey growing up and you're from not even South County, Jefferson
Not
County.
even South County, south of South County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Jeffco.
how'd you make your way to St. Charles County?
Well, through hockey, honestly,
Okay.
at school. So I came out to St. Charles County to go to Lindenwood on a hockey scholarship, and that's how I came here. Though my path, I feel like my path to everything in life has been a little backwards, where I didn't come straight out of high school.
Yeah.
I had some community college right out of high school, but then after those 2 years, I worked full time for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
In the banking industry.
Okay.
As a
Before you played?
well, I was playing this whole so again, it's kind of not the traditional timeline.
Yeah.
So I was playing junior hockey. I played for the Junior Blues when I was younger, the St. Louis Junior Blues out of Afton. I was doing that. In technically junior hockey, you can play till you age out at 21.
Okay.
And so I was still doing that, but then during the time that I was working full time, or just prior to working full time, I got connected with the River Otters while they were in town.
Oh yeah.
It was a situation where they had a goalie shortage. I was a goalie, obviously, and they had a goalie shortage. They needed emergency goalie, and I was kind of on that list. And so I filled in.
Oh, that's a great goalie name. I didn't realize you were a goalie.
Yeah.
That's a great goalie name. I mean, that's like a name for a shutout. Like, he pitched a Turnipseed tonight.
You pitched a Turnipseed?
Yeah. That's great.
Good, yeah,
Okay.
why not? Let's get that started.
Well, and also the name is long, and so the bigger, obviously a goalie, you're wearing more pads, and so probably shoulders a little bit broader to fit that whole name.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
makes sense.
And
Okay.
It doesn't have to curve all that much.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I was doing the River Otter thing for a couple years, and through that, was playing competitively pretty high still. And then Lindenwood came in the picture again in a roundabout way. I was watching my friend who was kind of like I mentored for the Junior Blues. He was younger and coming up after me. I was watching him play a juniors game, and the coach at the time from Lindenwood was there to actually scout and recruit him potentially.
Uh-oh.
And he wanted to just go out of town. I don't even know if hockey was really what he wanted to do beyond that, but he wanted to go out of town and just get away. And in that conversation, I was literally standing there with him, with the coach and him at the time, and he goes, "You should talk to this guy," and pointed to me. And so we just had to start having conversations. They came and watched me play, and the rest is history. I mean,
So
I got a
this-
scholarship off of that.
This is after the River Otters?
Yeah, so
How does that work?
the
'Cause-
great thing is
yeah.
that so I never had to sign a contract with the River Otters.
Okay.
I was paid in other ways. I got lots of free equipment out of it,
Okay.
things like that. And so
I don't know where we were going with that.
no, you had this look on you. I was like, no, not like that. So through that, kind of working the system a little bit, I was still eligible.
Did
to
you
play
do
college
that
hockey.
with any like foresight so that you could go back and play collegiately, or that's
No.
just how it was?
No, honestly, the whole college thing was more of a desire that I wanted to go back and finish my degree.
Yeah.
And hockey was just happened to be a way that helped me do that, which
Yeah.
I wasn't really thinking about at the time. but
Yeah.
yeah. So,
That's cool.
yeah, I mean, it's, again, not the traditional path, and I wouldn't recommend that path for anyone
Yeah.
necessarily, but it worked for me.
And then you go from playing at Lindenwood to working at Lindenwood,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Was that right after college?
Yeah, so right immediately after graduation, I went into a career path that I thought, was kind of interested in at the time, financial the financial field, was going through some training, but
You look like a financial advisor.
do I?
Yeah.
I'm dressed for it today,
Yeah.
I guess, right? Yeah. But I don't know, a few months in, 6 to 8 months, something like that, Lindenwood came calling and said, hey, why don't you come on staff? We'd love to have you part of the hockey program, director of hockey, learn to play, get some little kids back into it.
Pay you in T-shirts.
What's that?
We'll pay you in T-shirts.
We'll pay you in T-shirts and ice time.
Yeah.
So came on staff, and well, at the time I was newly married. We had just purchased our first house, was being built. I was working on what's called a draw salary through the financial piece.
Oh,
where,
yeah. Familiar with that.
Yeah, not fun.
No.
And then I had this opportunity to go back to.
You'd rather get paid in T-shirts, actually, than be on a draw.
Let's do it. Only mediums and small, so they didn't fit all that well, but that's what they gave me. So, it was a stability thing. It was a passion thing. It was everything I loved. And
Were you living in after Lindenwood, did you settle in St. Charles?
Yes.
The Turnipseed, you planted your Turnipseed
We did.
in St. Charles.
We sowed our seeds and planted a garden right there.
Okay.
In St. Peter's for a little bit, and then eventually out to O'Fallon.
So you go from Lindenwood to what has been your kind of career, which is like working in the nonprofit world.
Right.
Right. So you were somewhere else before BJC.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Make-A-Wish Foundation. Yeah. Tell me what you did there.
A
Is
little
that
bit
as
everything.
cool as it seemed? Like when you see the wishes, that's awesome.
Yeah, it
I
is.
imagine there's like a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on with that.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I mean, I did everything fundraising at Make-A-Wish. I came into Make-A-Wish with my schooling background in education with Lindenwood, and ran their school program there, fundraising with K through 12 students. Went through all the event cycles of corporate events, community events, and then got into different types of fundraising, and eventually was the senior director overseeing all the fundraising for the chapter.
Oh, cool.
So it was a lot of fun. I was there for almost right about 10 years. But yeah, I mean, some really cool wishes over the time. I was a wish granter myself.
I was going to say, did you get to participate in any of those wishes?
Yeah, I mean, so yes.
Okay.
My wife and I actually both were volunteer wish granters as well. So
What does that mean?
So every wish has a pair of wish granters, and those
Okay.
are the people, they're volunteers, and they're really the ones that meet the families for the very first time.
Okay.
Get to know them, get them comfortable with the process, and then you start talking to the kiddos about what's your wish.
Yeah.
And then once you learn what that wish is, you're in that process to help create it and then eventually execute it.
Okay.
So, I mean, Disney, anything Disney related was a very common wish. It always is,
Sure.
still is.
They want to go to Disney World, or
Disney
they want to
World, Disney Cruise, Disneyland, whatever.
Yeah.
And so those wishes are kind of cookie cutter a little bit, where there's not a whole lot that really needs to be done because they're pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
But we had one kiddo, it was actually a family friend of ours. He wanted to go to Jamaica. And so we got to plan a Jamaica trip for him, and like a big Jamaican party to wish him off. And as a fundraiser, the idea behind that is to get some of the community involved, and maybe some businesses or business people. And so that was always a lot of fun too. But I mean, we had a kid wish to, be a coach of the Blues. You see those occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
ESPN does the My Wish series. So we actually had a local St. Louis kid that was a part of that one time. It's neat. There's a lot of planning that goes behind the scenes of those.
Yeah.
And fundraising on the front end too.
Okay. And so now, sticking in the nonprofit world, you move over to the BJC Foundation.
Correct.
And you brought a little guest with you. You brought Millie,
I did, yeah.
who I'm going
That's
to hold
Millie.
like Dr. Evil for the rest of the interview. Just do this.
Got to put pinky up.
The BJC Foundation has raised $1
$1 million.
I don't know what number.
Just now. So if you want to donate.
Yeah, we have a little telethon
That's right.
on the screen here.
That's right. Oh, we have a caller? Is that right? We have a caller?
Caller Angel, you're on with Millie.
Yeah, so it's the Barnes Jewish St. Peter's and Progress West Foundation. So we're here in St. Charles County, fundraising, supporting everything in our county here for the 2 hospitals that we have. And you're really liking that, aren't you?
It's nice. I'm over here by myself. It's nice to have a little pet here. Is Millie a real dog?
Millie is a real black lab,
Okay.
certified therapy dog. So that was one of our big endeavors right at the end of 2023, start of 24, that we partnered with the St. Charles County Police Department and funded a therapy dog that Millie goes and visits students at every St. Charles County school district.
Oh, cool.
Throughout the year, helping with mental and behavioral issues that students face every day in school. And then in the summertime, like now when school's not in session, she visits the hospital, sees patients. Our staff love it. And so, yeah, it's pretty
Who doesn't
awesome.
love a dog? Just one.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's, instant good day. Like,
And I guess you haven't met Millie yet.
no.
We'll have to get you to meet Millie, but
Okay.
Millie is, I mean, the epitome of the perfect dog. So well behaved, so awesome, easy to pet, loves on you. I've never seen a dog so well trained in my life. Therapy dogs of any sort, or just my dogs at home aren't anything close to that.
Yeah.
But funny thing with Millie too is the officer that keeps Millie, is Officer Shu. He's actually my college roommate.
Oh, really?
We played hockey at Lindenwood together. Reconnected through this work a little bit, and he was an SRO at a school. Put this whole proposal together of why this is needed, and now is Millie's keeper. And
That's
it's
very
kind
cool.
of fun, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me what else the foundation does.
Yeah, so our foundation is built around 3 pillars. It's health, healing, and hope. So if you've ever been to or heard about our gala, it's the Health, Healing, and Hope Gala every year.
That's right.
And that's kind of what's it's born out of. And so we support our patients in the hospital, our teams, our nurses, doctors, everything in the hospital as well as out in the community. So the health is we want to provide free education, health screenings and things for the community that lets you know. I mean, a lot of people may not be up to date on what their body's telling them, what their health looks like. And there may be underlying circumstances that you're not aware of. So, or unable to access it because you don't have proper transportation or, insurance, whatever that might be. So we want to make sure that everyone in the community, regardless of your economic situation, is able to access some sort of health care through us. And so we'll have health screenings. Heart health is a big one, mental health that, maybe help to identify something that's going on within your body that you weren't aware of. And those are all free. The foundation helps to support that, so you don't have to pay anything for that. We want to make sure that you're aware of your health. The healing part is really if you need to enter the hospital and you're within the hospital walls, help in that healing process. We have a lot of therapy services that we offer, massage therapy, yoga therapy, music therapy, pet therapy, all that patients can take part of while they're staying in a hospital bed. Because I don't know if you've ever had to stay in a hospital, and
Fortunately not.
it's a hospital bed. It's not a hotel bed, right? It's not your comfy bed at home.
Yeah.
And some folks need to stay there for extended periods of time. And so what's going to help you be more comfortable in your stay, help you heal? Music therapy is a new one that we just brought back this past year.
Cool.
And getting tons of wonderful responses around that. So
just people listening to music, or or is it a certain type, or what are you doing with it?
Yeah, it's interesting. Great question. Because prior to COVID, what it used to look like was just that. It's a music therapist playing a guitar or some sort of instrument as they're kind of making their way around rooms. Now what we do is that music therapist is going into a patient's room, and once they kind of, strike up a conversation, get to know what kind of music they're interested in, and let them play the guitar or strum it or find a beat. And it's very soothing and very therapeutic.
This is not just like putting on a CD.
Right? No, not. No, they actually have instruments that they bring in.
Wow.
And what we haven't done this yet, but what she said that she can do is, if it's requested, and she's done it in the past, that she can actually record a beat to your heartbeat, and a lot of times it's maybe. It's someone that's, maybe terminal or a situation that's very dire. They can create a beat or a song to their heartbeat that the family can keep forever, or a newborn.
That's cool.
Something like that. Yeah. And so really interesting. I haven't seen that in process yet, but
there's something about music that's kind of connects us all. Like you can kind of feel it. I can sometimes.
I agree.
And so especially live music. So I'm thinking you have, like, you put on a CD or something, but to have someone in the room playing, I mean, I would imagine that would lift your spirits minimum, right?
Yeah. We, every year in May is National Healthcare Week. And so we always, at both hospitals, do a lot of celebrations of different sorts all week long. This year we had our music therapists sit in our cafeteria areas of both hospitals and would play music, and we'd see some staff, but also just visitors coming in, just anyone hear that and start to gravitate over. And I'm specifically remember one gentleman at Progress West came over and started talking about how he loves classic rock and this kind of stuff, and mentioned a few bands, and she started playing songs in that style, and he sat down on a chair and started singing along with her to the song.
Oh, wow.
And it was cool. I mean, it was really neat. And he was there for, I don't know, maybe some lab work or something. He wasn't a patient at the time, but just the conversation, the joy on his face, and his wife was with him, and they were an elderly couple, but they were just talking about how awesome that was that we have that available, and so
cool.
it touched them, and it's just neat to see.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned the gala.
Yeah.
Always a big deal.
Always
a good time. September 28th.
Correct. Yep.
Ameristar.
Ameristar Casino.
What's the theme this year?
Yeah, so
it's always good.
It is always good. So this year's theme is. You ready for this?
I'm ready. I didn't want to know off camera.
It's Neon Jungle. So what comes to your head first when you hear Neon Jungle?
A neon jungle. I would just picture like everyone wearing their favorite kind of neon, and then all together would be a neon jungle.
That's interesting. Haven't heard that one yet.
I don't know what else. Wait, hang on. Let's poll the producers here.
Okay.
What do you think of when you hear neon jungle? What else would that be? Well, that's what I said, and that's wrong, Manny.
Well, he said a jungle of like people. What kind of jungle are you speaking to?
Yeah, that's what I meant. But with
you
people,
didn't mention that though.
Well, I
You
meant
said
like
people together in his
jungle theme, but like people wearing neon
Can we
colors.
rewind that and get that on?
What do you think, Angel? What do you got?
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Neon Jungle.
It's a cool name. Gonna like black
That glow
lights
in the dark.
Yeah.
Real bright jungle color.
Yeah.
Real bright colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you're all right.
Okay.
Everyone here is correct.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. No, yeah. So it's just that it's got a little bit of like an 80s flair with the neon kind of feel, but then the jungle. So some of the images we use are monkeys and tigers, parrots, those kinds of things. It's actually, I went to an event for another organization earlier in the year, and they had a very similar theme, and I didn't know going into it. Uh-oh.
He's making sounds back here.
I thought it was something else.
So is Tarzan actually
growling
showing
back
up?
there?
Is Tarzan showing up to the gala?
Is who?
Tarzan?
Tarzan? Ooh, maybe. Maybe. I actually had a physician. Our first, so I've been with BJC just over 2 years now, and the very first gala that I was a part of was a Moroccan Nights theme. And at the after party, because we always have an after party at our gala, it's on the rooftop of Ameristar. Unique for our gala, not many do that. And at the after party, I was having a discussion with this one particular physician, and he said, "You know what, Mark? I know what your theme should be next year." He's like, "You should do Tarzan, and you should dress up as Tarzan and swing in." I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like, well, who's going to be my Jane? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, "Are you going to when we carry you?" Because he's a smaller guy, but I could probably hold him. But we obviously, that wasn't, the next year's theme wasn't that, but now here we are, Neon Jungle. It could be Tarzan.
Yeah,
who knows?
Neon Tarzan.
I guess, people are just going to have to show up to see if Tarzan shows up.
There you go.
How that works, so.
Maybe if we raise a certain amount or sell a certain amount of tickets, maybe that's what it is. There's a certain goal to get Mark in a leopard print Speedo.
I'd be happy to put that out there.
And
if we get to a certain level, I will put on, I don't know about a Speedo. Well,
careful with put that out there.
You know what? We've seen the Olympic pole vaulter, right? Got some laughs in the back row over there.
There was an elephant. Is that what that was? Neon elephant.
Oh,
I've seen a lot of memery around the pole vaulter.
Yes, lots of memery. That's a great.
Okay, none of that.
We're off the rails.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Neon Gala. Yeah,
Neon
Neon
Jungle,
Jungle.
Gala.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it.
Well, and so, you had mentioned earlier about you've been to one of our galas in the past, and they're always we do them big, and
they are done right.
They are.
Yeah.
Love that idea, but what coming into this foundation as the director and overseeing all that now, my biggest concern was that there's a lot of expenses we put on to make it that big.
Yeah.
That takes away from the impact that we draw the funds we raise. So I've tasked my team since over this last couple of years to start thinking a little more creatively on how we can reserve some expenses and allow for the funds that we raise that night to be more impactful for our community.
Sure.
So this theme, actually, Neon Jungle, is our first attempt at being able to do that, because you can do lots of lighting with the Neon Jungle. It doesn't have to be so many things that are
Like printed or
manufactured,
installed.
and created and put on the walls.
Yeah.
That cost so much money to do, and it still can look really awesome and be a really great event.
Yeah.
So we'll certainly have some of the jungle flair,
Yeah.
right? But then like the neon part of it can be a lot through lighting and things like that won't cost us as much to
Sure.
put it on and allow us to raise more money to do more things in the community.
You always see those charts of like, before you donate, look at how much of your dollar goes to,
Correct.
you know, the CEOs and how much actually goes to impacting what their actual mission is.
Yeah.
I've got a great theme for you.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Would just the theme for next year could just be Ameristar Ballroom.
It very well could be.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to have a ballroom theme this year. Well, quite honestly, I had said that once. I was like, do we have to have things on the wall? I mean, I've been to many events that don't,
Yeah.
and they're still great events, and it's all mission driven. But, you know, we have this running, you know, perception and understanding, and people look for our gala because of the grandeur.
I was
of
gonna
it
say it's
sometimes.
hard to like start out like knocking out of the park,
Yeah.
and then peeling it back, right?
Right.
Like it would be hard, I think, for someone to digest that if it's like you're used to going to this. I think Yellow Submarine was the one I went to.
Yeah.
The Beatles one,
yeah.
and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's all over. Like you're immersed in the theme,
Yeah.
and then so to go from that to peel back, but you got to do it gradually.
Sure.
But that's good. I mean, if I'm donating to a foundation, I want my money to go to what your mission is,
Yeah.
not
absolutely.
to whatever it is.
Well, and we're a BJC St. Charles County Foundation. I mean, so there are foundations that cover, like Missouri Baptist has their own foundation. Obviously, you have Children's and Big Barns downtown. Even like our hospitals down in the Farmington area, Parkland, they have their own foundation. So every foundation is a different size. And we're honestly, for St. Charles County, we're a smaller foundation. And so it's not like we have all these funds that we can just go and spend on things
Right.
like that, and we don't want to. So that's kind of our mission behind that, and drive to be more impactful for our patients and our
I like
community.
that. So that's September 28th
Yep.
at Ameristar,
Ameristar.
Gala, after party,
All the
Turnipseed,
above.
and a Speedo.
I might even get on the microphone and sing. Who knows?
Really?
Yeah.
What would you sing?
Ooh. So speaking of music and having it bring people together, I love all types of music.
Okay.
I don't mind karaoke.
Okay.
I'll sing just about anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, you throw a song out
Do
there.
you have a go-to? Like, if you like karaoke, you should have a go-to song that you just know that you're going to nail it.
It's so hard to answer because I don't know that I've ever
There's
really.
so
had-
many.
Yeah.
Are you
I
good
mean,
at it?
I
Do
don't
people
think I
enjoy it?
am. I guess so. Sure. We'll find out.
Or do you, or is it just like a silly, like, I want to have fun? Because you're a silly guy.
I am.
You're
I
a silly
can be.
goose, don't you think?
I'm a silly duck.
There we go.
Yeah.
You want to talk about ducks? No, give me a song. Give me a song that you're, you know,
No, you're gonna play it?
maybe.
No. I don't know. I mean, I listen to more country music probably than anything.
Okay.
Which I like, but I don't know. Just the other day, I was listening to Dre Day in the car, listening to a little like 80s, 90s rap. I mean,
Okay.
anything. It doesn't. I don't.
Would you karaoke that?
What? Which
Anything.
Any
Yeah.
of those?
Any of those?
Maybe. Yeah. Why not? I karaoke anything.
Okay.
I'm not scared.
I don't think you're scared. I do
No.
not think you're
My
scared.
mom used to tell me all the time, if I could only memorize my schoolwork the way I
Right.
memorize all these lyrics of
Lyrics
songs
or-
and just singing all the time in the car.
Yeah, or hockey stats, or like,
I probably wouldn't be here right now
baseball
because I'd
stats.
be the owner of Tesla or
I know.
something, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's talk about these ducks. You've
These
got a
ducks.
Facebook page for the Mighty Ducks of what is it called?
The Adventures of the Mighty Ducks.
Adventures of the Mighty Ducks. So how did you
Yeah.
find yourself with ducks?
COVID.
Okay.
Just to be blunt about it.
It was like a bored. You were bored. Like, let's get some ducks. See
No.
what happens.
You want the full story? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, about 6 years ago ish, we were wanting to upgrade houses. We need a little bit bigger house. I have two kids, so my wife and us, we were just growing, and we were looking for something bigger. A friend of ours actually was going the opposite direction and needed to downsize a little bit. And funny thing is, we just started talking. We swapped houses.
Did you really?
Literally swapped houses, which made moving really easy, quite honestly. But
wow,
yeah, so it worked out perfect for both of us.
Did you sold them through the like proper channels?
Right. Yeah. We didn't just, it wasn't like under the table or no.
Yeah.
No, it was all, legit and how it should be. But
Interesting.
she needed a smaller house. We were looking for more.
You've had a lot of these. I mean, I'm just picking up. You've had a lot of these circumstances where it's like you're here to watch your buddy play hockey, and then you end up with a scholarship, and then
I don't know if there's a name for that. I don't know, but
it's like
a term.
Yeah,
not late bloomer, but like a, I don't know.
No, it's just been all like, I don't know if there's a term for it, but I don't think that I've ever heard of anyone doing that.
Of swapping houses or any
correct?
Of that? Yeah, we did.
Have you heard another case of it? Have you?
No.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I'm sure it's out there, but yeah.
All right, let's get us back on track.
So we swapped houses, and so with the house came a pair of ducks. So a couple years prior to that, she and her husband at the time had gotten ducks for their kids, I think Easter or something like that, raised them. There's a small little fish pond in the backyard. Raised them there. Eventually they got too big for that pond, and basically outside our front door is a subdivision pond. And so eventually they migrated over there, and they became the subdivision ducks.
I was going to ask, they're no longer your ducks.
Right.
Yeah.
So they became the subdivision ducks, and literally they roam all around the subdivision. Everybody feeds them all across. I mean, I'm surprised they don't get hit by cars more often or something. But so.
No, go ahead. I have jokes loaded, but I don't know. I mean, I find a duck's opinion of me is highly influenced by whether or not I have bread.
Bread is bad for ducks.
Is it really?
It's not good. You're not supposed to feed them.
Who knew?
Yeah, I know. So we have a nice corn mixture that we feed them. Duck.
Yeah, you have duck food?
We have duck food.
Did you know ducks eat for free at Subway? It's a Mitch Hedberg joke. I'm going to butcher it, but everyone looks curious now.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Mitch Hedberg.
I do.
The escalators became stairs. Great comedian. Or escalators can't break; they can only become stairs. That's kind of his go-to. He talks about going into a Subway and asking for bread, and he's like, it's for a duck, and the guy just gives him the bread. And so he's like, ducks eat for free.
Like a whole loaf?
Yeah, like a loaf. I'll have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
See, I'm butchering this, but
great.
But he's like, ducks eat for free. So then he gets this bread or whatever for this duck, and he gives it to him, and he's like, there are 5 ducks outside, and they all want sun chips because ducks eat for free.
Ducks eat for free. Yeah.
No, bad joke. All right, so the people.
Did they ask if the duck wanted it toasted?
They didn't.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Bad on them.
Bread's bad. Toasted bread is worse. But bread is actually bad for ducks.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you're supposed to feed them? Like what you said, a corn. Mix or something.
Ours specifically is cracked corn.
Okay.
With some duck food.
Did Jimmy crack it?
I mean, he might have.
I don't care.
Know. Rural King sold it, so maybe there's a Jimmy at Rural King.
Sure.
But anyway, so we inherited these 2 ducks. Well, somewhere right around the start of COVID, it was a white duck and this like really dark purple, black looking duck. Beautiful.
Okay.
Well,
is it Darkwing Duck?
It might.
Do you remember Darkwing Duck?
I do. Yeah.
I think I've seen a
These are the
purple
DuckTales. But it got attacked by something. We found it, no longer living next to the pond. And so my wife, love her to death, she's like, well, it was Edgar and Francis. Edgar's now no longer with us. Francis needs a partner. Francis can't swim around the pond by herself. We think it's a her.
Okay.
So
I don't want to ask. Never mind.
There's a way, I think. Yeah, I don't know, but we get a lot of stories around that too. We don't no. So COVID, what are we going to do? I mean, let's get some ducks and raise them, okay?
Yeah.
But instead of 1 duck, she decides we need to buy 4 ducks.
Oh, 4 more ducks.
So we buy 4 ducks and raise them in our garage at first, which they're very stinky, horrible.
Really?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't recommend it. Raise them in our garage. Eventually, they get bigger, and we get like a little kiddie pool, introduce them to water, and then we start walking them across the street to the pond. And at first, it was kind of fun. we'd walk them across the street. They'd swim around, and they'd follow us back to the house at night.
Give me a picture of you walking them across the street.
Like this.
They walk. You do that, and you're like, walk this way.
Every once in a while, I turn around and go, quack, and they no, like.
Are they walking behind you, or you're carrying them?
No, they're walking.
Okay.
Yeah, they're walking. And so 4 ducks now introduced and become 5 with Francis there.
Okay.
The problem was that it turned out that we weren't the only ones during COVID that had this idea. There was 4 other ducks that magically showed up at the pond one day because we started this Facebook page, The Adventures of the Mighty Ducks.
Sure.
So we could share, because people in the subdivision were honestly, they wanted to know what was going on because the other one had died. And so people had seen that. Somebody else had 4 ducks. So the 5 turned into 9. And then 2 more showed up. The 9 turned into 11. And then another one showed up. We had 12 ducks in this pond at once. So through just natural selection and springtime festivities, because we're right along a main road, they kind of thinned the herd on themselves. And so now we're back down. There's 4 main ducks that stay there all the time.
Now, do you know who's, like, where these other ducks came from? You're saying they showed up, but you think people brought them in and just said, here?
The other group of 4 came just randomly. We don't know who the people were,
Okay.
but we saw them literally come and just drop them off.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those things, COVID, like, oh, this seems great. And then once you get into it, you're like, why did we do this?
Yeah.
And now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, I see this Facebook page. There's ducks. Oh, they need more ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other one of them came from a friend that same thing. They raised it a little bit, but then they didn't have any water for it and a place for it to be.
Oh.
So we're like, well, can it join your ducks?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't own the pond. It's not our decision.
Yeah.
If you happen to show up, I guess.
Let me ask my ducks.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your opinion, guys? So we had 4 ducks. We had Stanley. That was mine. Stanley Cup, right?
Oh, okay.
Stanley, Quinn, Phoebe, and Penelope, I think it was the other.
Someone was really into Friends over COVID.
My wife, yeah.
Can you identify, like, are any of those 4 remaining part of that family that you started? Do you know?
We believe 2 of them are. There's
Did you
2 white
mark
ones.
them in any way?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Did you really?
Clip their wings? No, they can't fly. So
Okay.
they stay there all winter long. And
how did you identify? Like,
I mean, to be honest, we think there's one that we think is from our group,
Okay.
but we're not 100% certain.
Yeah.
And so
They're
we
not-
only know the original white duck, Francis, because it's white and it's got black spots on its head.
Okay.
No other duck had that.
and he's still around.
He's still around.
And they're not microchipped
He's the king
or anything.
of the pond.
Okay.
No, they're not microchipped. Yeah. So if they get away, they're gone.
Yeah. Do they ever, like, come back to your house or try to? Are they friendly to you? Do they recognize you? Any of them, or the ones that you think are yours?
So our house, and there's a few others, but they come over almost every day. And literally, if our garage is open, we can be inside in our kitchen or our living room, and we hear them quacking in our garage. They're that loud.
Wow.
Because they want food.
Yeah.
So we'll feed them on the driveway just about every day. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. And not to further complicate things, we have 2 more ducks that we're raising in our fish pond right now.
No.
That kind of happened upon us, and so, yeah.
You just are attracting ducks from the universe. You're the duck guy now.
Maybe it's the desire that we want to live on a farm someday. So.
Okay. Is that a goal?
It'd be nice to have. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
sure. I think my wife and I both would be okay with that.
Okay. After the kids are gone and.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care to have ducks in my backyard right now.
Yeah.
But if I had a pond and some land, absolutely. Let's do it all day long.
Okay. Who knew?
Who knew? I'm a Turnipseed. So, I mean, it's in my blood. I'm a farmer by nature, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's farmers in my family, so
That makes
let's
sense.
do it.
Will you bring the ducks with you anywhere? Like, will they come to work with you? Will they
Is there a bring your
come
duck
to
to
the
work
Gala?
day?
There should be. We talked about
I'll
how
bring
many
them to your office.
we talked about how many weeks there are for, like, healthcare professionals, right? There's not a duck week or something?
It's like Shark Week, Duck Week. Yeah. I don't know. No, not that I'm aware of, and not that I care to start. So
Okay.
not yet, at least.
Okay. Anything else you want to leave us with? Any other tales, anecdotes, voices? You're a man of many hats.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look at that.
How's that?
It looks great on you too.
I don't know what it looks like. Get to.
I tell you what, hats are hard. I don't know. Do you wear a lot of hats?
I do, and I'll tell you, when I was a kid, I don't know what. Obviously, my head's bigger now, physically bigger. As a kid, they never seemed to fit right on me.
Yeah.
I have a smaller head, But now, yeah, I will rock a hat. I kind of know what brand and what style I can wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all over the place. Yeah.
I need to pay attention more like that to know what fits my head, because I love hats, but I hate hats because I don't feel like I don't have like the big box square front. No, not
That doesn't work for you?
No, it doesn't work, and I can't figure out what hat fits me best.
Are you a snapback guy? Are you a trucker mesh style? Do you like a fitted
prefer
hat?
fitted.
Oh, do you?
I prefer
Okay.
fitted. Yeah.
What size? Like, I know mine is smaller, and they've never looked good on me. The fitted hats.
I don't know, like a 7 3/4. I have no idea what's that.
I don't even know what that means. I just didn't know if you knew. Maybe look at the snapbacks.
That's right.
Look at the now. Do you go backwards? You wear a hat backwards?
I will. Yeah.
Mark Hollander says after 40, you can't wear your hat backwards.
Oh, does he say that?
That's
I didn't
what
know
he
that.
says.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
ask him about that.
I'm 42. I'll wear it backwards.
I do.
I don't think that applies to me.
Yeah.
Makes me feel young.
I feel like when I work out at the gym, it's always backwards. I gotta look like I'm in the zone. Like,
Yeah, but what about when you like lay down to do stuff?
Well, then yeah. If
you turn it around.
Yeah, I'm gonna bench press. I gotta turn around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Now, what about a sock hat? A beanie?
Yeah. A toque.
A toque?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. Is that what that is? Like a beanie? You wear a beanie?
That's the hockey term, I guess, for it.
Oh, okay.
Toque.
What about those guys that wear those in the summer and you're like, it's July?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird to me too. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not for me.
What else do you want to cover?
I don't know. What else do we have to cover? Well, I don't know.
This is good.
It's so
This is good material.
This is great. Have you ever played the quiet game?
I usually lose.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you give some info on the Gala, BJC, contact info. This is your time to shine and just tell the audience exactly what you want to tell them.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so the Neon Jungle Health, Healing, and Hope Gala is coming up September 28th. You can go to bjcstcharlescounty.org/foundation to see it. The socials are at BJC St. Charles County all over the place. You can find information there. We actually are also doing, we're planning for the first time a walk event at Progress West Hospital, and it's to benefit women's health. We're still in the planning stages of that, but there's information on that. And then just all the other patient care, team member care. You know, if you've had a great experience at one of our hospitals, we want to hear about it. We want to support our staff and our teams that work so hard to give you great care. So let us know. Reach out to the foundation. You can email us at bjcsccfoundation at bjc.org, or like I said, on the socials or websites, and find us there. Look me up, Mark Turnipseed. You can find me, and we'd love to hear about it.
If only you had a memorable last name,
Yeah.
we could find you.
Google Turnipseed. You know, funny story about that real quick.
Okay.
So I was at Lindenwood,
Yeah.
higher education, right? And we were doing some promotion for hockey or something at the time, and apparently there was a Troy Turnipseed that was involved with SLU, higher education. But I guess Troy was doing some radio commercials or something. I don't know how many people reached out to me and said, "Hey, I heard you on the radio today." I'm like, "What are you talking about on the radio?" Eventually I heard it. I was like, "That's Troy Turnipseed."
Yeah.
I don't know who he is. I feel like I need to meet the guy. So Troy, if you're out there, let me know.
We're looking for a Troy.
We're looking for a Troy Turnipseed. Yeah.
Turnipseed Troy.
Worked at SLU while I was at Lindenwood. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
I feel like with your last name, there, I mean, you would almost have to be related, right? Somewhere.
I guess. Are
And if
all
you're-
blacksmiths related? Are all blacks or smiths or?
No, but I mean, that's so much more common than turnip seed.
Yeah.
I've never even heard that.
Yeah.
Turnip seed and barkers.
That's right. Come on down.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Come on down.
title
We
of the
got a
episode. Thanks so much for stopping by, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks for
it.
having me. Appreciate it. It's been fun.
That's a wrap.